Open my mouth, look at my gay face. But I've gotten gayer as the years have gone on. But no, but it's very important to me now in 2012 to be gay and to be visible and to be, you know, married for 10 years and a good role model. I do take it very seriously, my role on YouTube as a leader of YouTube and a leader of people like Tyler and Hannah, and the most visible gay people on YouTube. I take that role seriously. So, that's me. Hello.
You want us to call you Captain now?
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
I'm Sean Hemme. I'm one of the stars of Husbands, the series. It's a marriage equality comedy series on the web. We have a panel.
And we're doing a panel that I'm moderating this afternoon, so please come to that. That'll be great.
I'm an out actor, and the web has been a place where where none of that matters, as in it does in most of Hollywood circles, and I'm here to speak about that. So thanks, Brian.
Woo. Hello. Hi. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Hi, my name's Hannah Hart. I do a show online called My Drug Kitchen, and I do Heart Dough, yada yada yada, on YouTube. I've been doing it for about a year. There's a little over a year now, and yeah, I have so many things to say about being gay, because, oh my god, I love being gay. So let's talk.
Just to get a sort of a gauge in the room.
Gay.
Let me just adjust my bow tie here. Just to get a gauge in the room. How many people here, if you identify, and don't feel in no way that you have to identify, I'm just kind of sort of curious. How many people here identify as LGBT? Raise your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many people here do not? How many people here are friends or members of the P flag? Parents and friends of lesbians and gays.
Yeah.
Raise your hand. How many people are just trisexuals? Well, they're just try anything.
Yeah. Okay.
No, who don't really fall into either camp. Is there anybody who's okay? We can give those people a round of applause.
Hey.
Okay. Woo! I just wanted to get a sense. So this is awesome. This is really good to know who's here. Okay, so let me go to my handy dandy questions that I came up with. I wrote all these questions. If you read online, they came from this noggin right here. So I'll let you know.
You're the guy who wrote the questions to the super secret niche panel?
What? Exactly. So I put together this panel for a very specific reason. When I talked to Jenny about doing this panel, I thought it was very important because, you know, we're at a very important time, obviously, in the history of our country and in the history of media and in the history of equal rights. And, you know, I wanted to put together a panel that sort of discussed, you know, and where we could have an open conversation about what's happening in the world right now, and also with some of the top people in new media and what their contributions are. And I specifically chose these 4 people for obvious reasons, some for obvious reasons, some for different reasons, but because I think they have a unique point of view that they're going to share today with you about what's happening out there. And what their personal beliefs are working in new media, what it's been for them, what it's been like for them, and also what it's like inside of the traditional Hollywood structure, what it's like outside of the Hollywood structure, which inherently YouTube is. YouTube is inherently a thing that is outside of the Hollywood structure, still to this day, although that's changing. Also, we have a real blend here of scripted and non-scripted. You know, YouTube, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is still very much has a huge vlogger culture. And so I specifically, you know, chose Susan Miller and Sean because they're coming from the scripted worlds, and I think we're seeing that convergence of, you know, of this YouTube, this little infant toddler that's growing up, and we're seeing a lot more high quality, premium scripted content coming to YouTube and other platforms on the web. So that's what we're going to discuss today. So let's get right into it, shall we? Okay. Woohoo!
No. Oh, that's what we're discussing? Oh. Lame.
So what are the demographics of the people who are watching your show? Did you specifically set out to create a show for the LGBT community? Does your show have reach beyond the LGBT community? Susan Miller, we'll throw that to you.
Our show focuses on, I've learned to project. So our show focuses on young people, gay, straight, and multi-ethnic. And, but the two main characters in the show are 16-year-old girls in love with each other. And so we knew certainly that there would be an underserved community or citizenship ready to see stories like that. And it would have surprised us if there weren't. What really, really overwhelmed us is the numbers of people for a scripted drama on the web that we had collectively over 13 million views. I know that isn't the YouTube millions, but it is one of the most widely watched scripted web series. And I think because...
That's huge for scripted, guys, in case you don't watch a lot of web series. Yeah. Let's give her some love for that.
Yeah. But the great part about this is that it reaches a lot of people who aren't gay, who aren't necessarily women, although I would say we skew generally to women, of all ages, because it's not an issue-oriented series. Even it's through character that your struggles and their struggles and place in the larger world come to light. And I think what we always were aware of, and I say we, that Tina Cease Ward is the other executive producer and director of the show. We also got some press early on, reaching out to people that I knew, Kate Clinton, After Ellen, and just, and right away everybody jumped on, like, wow, we haven't seen anything like this before. I come from the theater first, and I wrote my first play is called Confessions of a Female Disorder. And there came a moment in the play, this was done at the Marte Forum in California, where two women kiss. And I was sitting behind, as I always am in the theater, the people who are just going to break my heart. So at the moment they kissed, these four people in front of me, without even turning to each other, just got up and left. So I invented a little gay koan, K-O-A-N, that little Zen poem. What is the sound of two women kissing? Four people getting up and leaving. But on the web, they don't leave. On the web, it grows and grows, and people talk about it, and we hear, we'll get back to this, but we hear amazing, amazing stories of people that we touch on this show. So I am proud of it, I love it, and if you haven't seen it, I hope you all will.
I'm reading the question. What are the demographics of the people who are watching your show? I know what I'm like. That was such a long. He was a long question. My audience is generally, I'd say, 70% female, 30% male. Large teenage girl. Large. I said this the other day.
Large teenage
the fatties love me. Largely teenage girls. Did I specifically set out to create the show for LGBT? No, I really didn't. I mean, I was just doing What the Buck kind of on public access and just trying to be funny and clever and whatever. So it was not geared towards gay people at all. Does your show have reach beyond the... I think so, yeah. I mean, to answer that question, I do. My show does have reach, but I try and make a video that I find amusing, that hopefully other people would find amusing. But yes, being gay. Someone asked me at my thing the other day, do you think being gay impacts your views? And of course it does. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't, because I'll never be able to have like that male teenage audience that is very into YouTube, like video gamers and stuff. So yeah, that's the answer to that question, right? That's it. Okay. You don't have to applaud. I was kidding. She had a really good answer. I just was like, 13, 17-year-old fatties. Insightful. Sorry.
Husbands, the series, which by the way was created by Jane Espenson. She's a writer from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Woo! Yeah.
So, and also my co-star, the other gentleman who plays my husband, is Cheeks from Go Cheeks Go on YouTube. If you're a fan of the
Yeah. Woo.
They'll both be at the panel later today, and we'll have a preview of the second season. But the first season, it is a marriage equality comedy series, and the idea was not just to cater to the gay community, LGBT community. We wanted to marginalize it. We wanted to be like, gay marriage is so yesterday. These are just two people who happen to love each other, and that's it. And they have the same issues as a straight couple would, and sometimes they'll have, particular gay issues. But generally, it's just two guys, and they love each other and trying to make it work. Surprisingly, the biggest audience we have is middle-aged Midwestern women.
Yeah. It's because that shit's so hot.
But I mean, we can, yeah.
Oh, wow, so many great things being said here today. My show, my demos are 50-50 men and women, 17 to 40. I mean, like, my comedy, it's not really like sexuality specific. I think that's kind of how I feel about the whole show. It's not even like woman specific. It's just about being who you are without having to subscribe to any sort of preconceived notions of what you should be. Which it's in a kitchen, it's a domestic setting, but we're getting drunk and crazy. But I am writing a rap song right now about being a lesbian. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how like my male viewers. Well, they're probably fuck. That shit's hot, so whatever. But I wanted to say really quick that I think, for people getting up and leaving, I think that a reason why there's so many views online in the web is that when you're watching something in a public space, you're watching it with everyone around you, and so there's still that judgment. With the web, we have this anonymity that allows people to be free. Like, you can watch whatever content you want. You're not in the living room of the house. You're not out at a play. Nobody's going to ask you about it. And you could have your secret show that you're really excited about. You have people coming out to me all the time being like, I didn't know I was gay, and then I started watching a show by myself, and I haven't told any of my friends, and now I'm gay, what do I do? I'm like, you're in for a treat.
What would you say that the demographic is of your show, Hannah?
It's 50-50. Like, you look at my pie chart, it's like half red, half blue. Men, women. Maybe it skews like a slightly more female, so like 48, 52. And then the ages range from like 17 or even younger, like I have a couple really young bands, to like people in their 40s and 50s. It's a show, it's just a comedy show about letting loose,
Great. Yeah. All right, let's give her a round of applause. Next question. Has your personal sexuality helped, hindered, or made no difference in regards to the success of your show? Susan Miller.
Well, what? Oh God, what's the matter with me? My sexuality has made no difference to the success of my show. I don't think fans are much interested in who I am and what my personal relationships are. It has made, in terms of watching the show, it certainly informs who I am, and so therefore it informs how I write and what I want to write about. So in that sense, of course, it matters, and it does. But I'm equally at home and comfortable and happy writing the scenes between the heterosexuals on so it informs it. But I don't know that it is, because I'm not the star of my show. I mean, I'm not the central person. If I were, as I was in a one-woman show that I wrote, and this is my favorite line for myself in it, is, I'm a one-breasted, menopausal, Jewish, bisexual, lesbian mom.
Wow.
Woo!
It's a lot. It's a lot. And all those things come with me in everything that I do.
Is that on your business card?
So I tattooed it. Yeah, right there.
My sexuality helped, hindered, made no difference. I don't know, when I first started on YouTube, it was really such a great place for all gays and Asians to find our voices. I mean, there was a time, like
Gay Asians, however.
of the top 10 most subscribed.
I actually like to call them Gasians. It's sort of the hybrid there.
Of the top 10 YouTubers when I started, 4 of us were gay. William Sled, Chris Crocker, What the Bug, and Gay God. So I think it was really kind of a really exciting, great place to be yourself. And so I mean, I think it helps me only because it helps me more personally. Like I think I'm more fully myself now because I've been so open. I think so. I don't know if it's hurt or I think it's. I don't know. But like I said, it definitely I do think how. But it's more my subject too. You being drunk in a kitchen, everybody can relate to that. I certainly can. But being a flailing 37-year-old homosexual talking about Miley Cyrus is not relatable to all. So again, I think it's more my content, less my sexuality. So I'll work on that. I'll do more drinking. Stay tuned.
And I want to ask you.
Yeah, more drinking.
And this is really interesting because even though Buck is gay, your show is not about that.
No.
But I do find, and I think you really hit a nice balance where there is something major in the media that
People
really
still
strikes
ask
you.
me, it's like, are you gay or is he acting gay or is he? I'm like, oh, I'm a really good actor if I'm acting this gay.
I had somebody come up to me at a party. Oh, God, this just pissed me off, so I wanted to tell you guys about it. Somebody comes up to me at a party, and it's like, oh, I'm gay, and I'm like, oh, cool, blah, blah, blah. Next day I find out the guy is not gay. Yeah, and he was just like, and he called me, he like pranked me.
Because it's cool now.
Yeah, but then he has a camera, it's a...
Oh, no.
Yeah, he has a camera.
The naked guy from X Factor, is he here?
No.
Oh my God, sorry,
No, it's that
off
guy.
topic.
It's not that guy. But, I'm really excited about answering this question because I came out really late in life. Like,
How old are you now? Do you want to say?
I'm 25. So I came out when I came out when I was like meaning out to everyone. I was like 23, And so for me, like, as somebody said on a comment on the show the other day, Hannah looks increasingly more gay, which may be true, I don't know. But it's really, really been amazing, I guess, how much more comfortable with myself I feel. It's like before I was like sweatpants, sweatshirt, like I'm hiding, blah, blah, blah. And the second I finally accept that I'm gay and I'm happy with it and I love it and I'm out, then I'm like slapping on some pumps, wearing some skinny jeans, and just being, like really owning every aspect of my personality. But in answer to your question about sexuality itself, as a former translator, becoming kind of like a...
Is it translator?
Yeah.
I thought she said as a former transsexual.
As a former transsexual.
Well, they said it was LGBT.
Yeah, here we go. So,
Gets better.
As a former translator, I guess I never expected so much public attention about me as like a person. You know what I mean? Like people being like, like reading comments and like, I love these comments, please never stop them. But it's surprising for people are like, she's so hot. And I'm like, really? Have we ever met?
All of those were from my older sister.
Oh, okay. I'll take it. But yeah, so that's...
Maybe some of them are from my older brother, too. I'm not
Fine, good, let's do it, we go. But anyway, it's just been an interesting...
Well, Hannah, I think your show is interesting because your show, it has nothing to do with your sexuality. It's about this girl getting drunk in a kitchen.
Right.
So
This woman.
Sorry, woman. We are 25 years old now.
We are.
So you are fully a woman.
I'm a woman.
I think you crossed over.
My brain is officially shrinking at this point.
I think you cross over that. I think you cross over that bridge when you hit 24. You become a woman.
Right.
So yeah. So I mean, so people are connecting with your show because they're interested in a person getting drunk in a kitchen, and it's topical.
I like to think they're interested in me, to be completely honest.
Okay, of course.
I honestly like to
Okay, all right, that's right.
No forced applause.
Okay.
No,
Sean.
but I like to believe it's about Hannah.
Sean.
Coming from scripted content, I would hope, and my sexuality has nothing to do with the success of the show or not, and that is, as far as being an actor, that's the personal business of my own. Now, however, I will say, for my own personal growth as a human being, it was interesting doing the first season of Husbands because we really challenged the stereotypes that are in our community, such as, well, Cheeks is half my size and a little bit more feminine, and I'm giant and I'm a little more masculine. However, as the show progresses, and actually in real life, it turns out that I have more internal, like, feminine qualities, and he has more masculine qualities. And so there's this huge thing in our community, especially like when two people of the same sex come together. Who's the male and who's the female? Like, trying to fit that sort of thing in. And so we really challenge that in the show, and we really look for, marriage equality means we're all equal, not just, one's this role and one is this role. And so for me as a person, I grew, as I would hope I would in my life, and I learned more about myself in that way. And then also my own insecurities about the type of actor